Hey, good afternoon. It is September 30th, 2020. This is getting blown up in space, literally. I am Planet Head. Uh, um, this is the last couple hours before I have to head back to work this week. I thought I'd get in a video here. A lot of stuff happened yesterday. Some cool stuff, some really good stuff, and I got blown up a couple times. So unfortunately, I didn't get either one on video. Um, but just to recap it, I lost my Thrasher and my Stabber. Um, the Thrasher just to taking too much of a risk going up against a clone soldier, and my I'm sorry, that was my Thrasher. If I didn't say that, not my Stabber, and my Stabber because I was watching the presidential debate recap and wasn't paying attention to the screen, and a fellow warped in and shot me to death, and that's pretty cool because that's my own fault. I should have been able to warp out as soon as I saw him come in. But you have to be more careful when you're flying cruisers. Good guy. Uh, uh, he went to send me some money afterward, and I told him, "No, dude, this is not. If I'm not flying anything, I don't need to." Um, so those are the two negatives, but positives that happened yesterday. I have had to take my backup Thrasher and outfit it with the gunnery that I have left in my base. Um, if you notice here, I've got some really high-powered junk. um, but that's the way I'm playing this. But I will have been able to accumulate enough stuff that I can easily outfit another um, ship as the nullsec um, corpse out there say already replaced. But I got to be a little bit careful. I'm running a little dry right now. Uh, if you look at my screen here, you'll notice I have started accumulating some of the salvage around. That's a good thing. We're going to start building some rigs to outfit our ships, me and my corp mate. Um, the one other big positive that happened yesterday was at one of the loot drops from one of the sites I ran was I got a upgraded Halo Gamma implant. And I'll just show you. This is pretty cool. It's almost worth 30 million ISK, plus 3 willpower. It is a specialized implant. It gives you a 10% and 1.75 reduction in your signature radius, but if you get the whole set of them, you get a 10% bonus. I'm leaving that in my inventory for a little while until I feel more comfortable flying with it, similar to some of the other stuff that I've found. Um, like my Domination EM shield, I don't really have a use for it in this area, nor do I feel comfortable throwing it on a ship right now. So those were some positives that happened yesterday, as well as the salvage. Um, and as you all know, I pretty much look at getting killed as kind of a positive. Keeps me on my toes, makes me learn things. Another big one is I invested in a Rupture BPO. I'm going to move on from the Stabber and move into a Rupture. I'm currently have it being what should we call it here? Uh, Researched, just so it costs less to build these, um, and uh, so that way in the next couple days I'll start building one of those so I can start flying a medium-sized ship because. With the Stabber, I started to being able to do larger sites, and that's where I got the pretty cool implant. I was able to start doing the yards and the dens without much of a problem. I have to be a little bit careful, but as I get better and better at it. Um, and so that's pretty cool. I like the Rupture a little bit better the more I look at it. It's not this all-around ship. It's more focused on what Minmatar does. It does have 630 M3 for flying drones, and so that'll work out. I think if you watched my video a couple days ago, I did start very, very, very basic planetary production. Uh, And I'll show you that here in a second. My main goal with that is to, with planetary production, planetary interaction, you can have it farm in space so that it can create items for you that you can sell in the market. But it can do it while you're not playing. You can set it up to go to farm by day, by week, by I think it goes up to 2 weeks. You can just set it and forget it. And so that's what I'm kind of doing there. My I if you watched the other day too, I do have my probe. The goal is to um, keep farming, 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 and then each day load up the probe, check the two systems around me, and if either one of them go to high sec, load up all of the goods that I've made from the farming into my hauler and take it straight through the wormhole rather than taking a chance taking an industrial through uh, low sec space. Um, and take it to the market, sell stuff, and buy stuff with the money that I make, similar to being a farmer. But the nice thing is it's not like mining where I have to actively mine. You don't make a ton of money, but you can make some pretty good ISK, especially when you're not doing any real work on it at all. And I'll just show you. Like I said, this is pretty much the most basic you can ever get with planetary production. Um, this is, I'm on a barren planet, the most basic planet you can do. Um, my command center is now level 3, so I can build a few more items out here, but what I have here is I'm farming base materials with my extractor and then sending that down to my launch bay. The launch bay then takes the two factories here and I send those base materials to the uh, uh, factory and it creates reactive materials. What does this do? It does two things. The reactive materials are worth just a little bit more than the base materials, but they take up a lot less space, so it's a lot easier to haul them. Um, but in general, I think I've had this running for 3 days, and currently um, the base materials that I have is worth 590,000 ISK, and the reactive materials are worth 831. So that's 1.3 million ISK, which might not sound like a lot, but like I said, this is the most basic thing you can do. It's only a level 2 command center. You can go up to level 5. With each character, you can have up to 6 planets, and you can make reactions that are even larger and larger to do. When I played before, I was living out in Sov space, out in nullsec, and the alliance I was with was short on MTUs, mobile tractor units. So rather than take the items to sale on the market, what I would do is actually create mobile tractor units for my alliance, and that would fund the creating of everything. Um, the negatives to this, not a whole lot. There is an initial um, fee for putting down your command centers and your factories, and I'll just show you here because I actually want to try and set up. I have room to do some, add on some more factories and another extractor. So what I want to do is figure out, and I haven't done this in a long, long time, but I have more space in my power and my CPU. It can go up to 100%. And I skilled up in my command center thing, so I'm going to actually upgrade this, and I'll just show you how to do it. This is one of the first costs that you have to do. To upgrade to level 3 is going to cost me 930,000 ISK, so I'm just going to upgrade that. And as you can see, when it upgrades, all these go down. My CPU goes down to 41.4, my power goes down to 60.3. There are things that both of those affect, how much you can transport through your lines, stuff like that. But really, I'm not too worried about right now. The nice thing is when you're doing it in a very basic level, all you're really worried about is how much stuff you can put down and get stuff going. So I'm going to go ahead and scan. I'm going to go ahead and finish that. You do have to have a base set of money to get started with this. Not a whole lot, I would say about for your first planet, maybe about 5 to 10 million ISK, because you're going to have to buy the command center, you're going to have to install it, and you're going to have to install your stuff, and you're going to have to upgrade your command center. So I would say, to be safe, about 10 million ISK to get started. But as you can tell, I'm already generating things, and within a week I would make that money back, if not sooner, depending on the size and the ability that I have to do things. So, okay, what am I trying to make? Well, the first thing I want to do is figure out what is the next material that I can make that I can combine with the reactive materials that I'm making here to another thing to then create a tier 2 item that is worth more and actually smaller and sell on market. I haven't planned any of this out, so I may not even have one on this planet that I can do, but I'm pretty sure there has to be something. So there are tons of sites out there that you can look these things up. As always, I try to do things in-game first, try them out first. Yeah, it's holding me back. I don't care. It's fun. And I actually learned more from failing, as you know, as I did yesterday, dying twice. So the first thing I want to do, and this is not going to be the best setup ever. Hopefully down the road, as I make more videos on this, you'll see a growth and more efficient way of doing things. But so to get back to it, what I'm going to do is I want to create a second tier industry facility, because these are two basic levels. So I want to go to the second tier, which is advanced, and I'm just going to plop it down here and submit. And then I'm going to create a link to here, so it's attached to my launch bay. Submit. I didn't catch how much that first one was going to cost, so I just want to show you how much these things cost. I'm not going to actually do it. So to build one is 250,000 ISK. It also shows you your power load and your CPU. So before I put down another extractor, I want to see what can I make with the reactive materials. And to do so, you can hover over all of these here. These are all of the items that can be built in an advanced system. So I'm just going to roll down here. Okay, so with reactive materials and toxic metals, I can make construction blocks. So real quick, I mean, like I said, there's sites that you can go to. I'm going to go over here to my basic item, and I'm going to look for toxic blocks, toxic metals, and I can make them by getting heavy metals. So go on over here and want to see can I not do it? I thought if I hovered over this one, it might tell me I need heavy metals. Maybe if I go into, this may take a little bit. Okay, no. Okay. So planetary production. It only makes noble metals, so I cannot do what I want to with this one. So I'm going to go back from start. So what I'm looking for is either one of these other 3 things that go along with base metals. So aqueous liquids, noble metals, we'll just remember that. Probably should write it down because I have a really bad short-term memory. So I remember I was trying to do construction blocks, wouldn't work. Keep rolling down. Good. Precious metals, no. Toxic metals, pretty good. I think they're on lava planets, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a long time. Keep scrolling here. Mechanical parts. Precious metals. I am pretty sure that we'll just look here. Good. precious metals are made from noble metals, which are gotten here. So I know I want to extract noble metals and bring them into the launch pad. So what do? Go down here. I want to scan and see what noble metals are in the area. Looks like not a whole lot. Like I said, you want to scout these things out a little bit better than I have. But what I will do is I'll try and put an extractor right here so I can try to get noble metals from either side here. So I'll go back over, build a extractor, and that's as far. I can't go any farther than that. It's got to. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I can go as far as I want to. It's just a matter of the farther you go, the more power you need, I think, or one of the two CPU. It doesn't really matter to me too much at this point. Down the road, when I make a very efficient ship, that's what I'll go ahead and do. So, good. I'm going to submit that, and then I'm going to create a link back to my launch pad. Good. And then I need to start extracting. Oops. And we're going to go ahead and submit that. And then we want to try to extract noble metals. So my power level is that high. I don't think I can put any more in here. I can't. What I will do is when the top one runs out, I'll actually remove an extractor out of there and add it into the one down here for the noble metals, because I'm that much of a hoarder. But okay, so and I want to make sure that my noble metals there. Good. Extractor. Submit. Okay, now that I've created it, I should be able to move these extraction units because I haven't programmed it yet. Now I can move these to the center, if I'm not mistaken. Good. And we want to do noble metals. There it is. I couldn't remember how to get that up. Good. And here's one thing to watch. When you do this, as you increase the time you're going to run it for, I'm going to run it for approximately 4 days. Notice how my, you can't see me point at the screen. Notice how the radius of the extractors is growing. So it's going to try to make more. So I'm going to put it at about 4 days. You can go up to 2 weeks. There we go. Bring it down there. The other thing too is, as you extract more out of it, it will show you. You'll get a bunch at the beginning, it'll spike up a little bit, and then as you do it for longer and longer, you'll get less and less of a return. So the longer you set it for, the less and less of a return goes. So it helps, if you're into micromanaging, to do them for shorter periods of time, come in each day and readjust them. I'm not into micromanaging. All I want to do is get this started. So that is started. And we're going to submit. Now, here's the most important thing. You always want to take your time doing this because you don't want to just leave it and not have it set up perfectly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a route that everything that I get goes from here to my launch pad. And what that does is it will have, and I'll show you here the routes, all of the noble metals that are coming in will go straight to the launch pad here. As this accumulates, what I'll do is I'll convert one of my basic factories over so that it will create the precious metals, I think it was, whatever it is, and that'll start churning. And then when that gets started, I'll then have my advanced. So, and I'll show you in the next video how that starts going. I'm going to let it farm for a day at least, just to get some in there, um, and get some of these base metals taken care of. But and then I'll do a real quick addition to the game. Or to a video. I won't do a whole video on it, but how the progress is going on it, the next step of getting these up and running, where you get the tier 2. Um, then, once I've accumulated some and I find a wormhole, I'll show you how I actually take my industrial through the wormhole and back to sell the items. Just again, those will just be little additions to the end of videos. I don't want this to be my main thing I do in the game, but what it is a nice thing of is the ability to do something in station when there's other guys around that you might want to kill. That might want to kill you, so you can sit in station and mess around with this sort of thing. So, so that's that. Hit my 20-minute mark here almost perfectly. So you guys have a great day. If I think of anything else, I'll put it in tomorrow's video because I'm going to start getting ready for work. But hey, have a great one and fly dangerously. Bye bye.